Bonjour, third grade. Mona Lisa here. You may remember me. It's so nice to see you. We have not seen each other in quite some time, so I thought that I would give you a review of where we have been in the world of art. Of course, we began with prehistoric. We painted with our hands. We did cave paintings. Then we traveled to Egypt. We wrote our names in hieroglyphics, the first language known to man. Then, of course, we traveled to Greece. We made some pinch pots. In Greece, they were very famous. Beautiful, beautiful pottery. One of the ways that we still know about them. Then, of course, mon ami, Mona Lisa. Oh, c'est bon. We went to the Renaissance, mostly in France. Then, many third graders loved ukiyo-e in Japan. Maybe less so, making potato prints, but we did it, we enjoyed. Then, of course, after ukiyo-e, we went back to France. We studied Monet and Impressionism, then Van Gogh and Seurat with Post-Impressionism, and today, it is 1905, approximately, and we will study Fauvism. So, third graders, curious as you are, you must be wondering, what is Fauvism? Well, that funny word actually means wild beasts. And when art critics gave that name to artist Henri Matisse, it was not a compliment. No, they were saying he was wild, and so was his artwork. Now, Fauvism, it came right after Post-Impressionism, and it kind of grew out of that. Art is always adapting, always changing. And Fauvism, you'll see some similarities to what we saw with Post-Impressionism. Now, I want to know, with all that you've learned, once I show you this fauvist art, which is my very favorite type of art, Henri Matisse is my favorite artist, I want to know what you can use your elements of art that you've learned to tell me about this art. So, let me pause, and voila, we have the elements of art. So, as we've learned, lines can be straight, squiggly, or implied. Our shapes can be very geometric or more organic. We might use the primary colors, red, yellow, blue, the secondary colors, green, purple, orange, or very neutral colors like brown and white. Our texture could be smooth, bumpy, or rough. We might use positive space or negative space. And we can use value from light to dark. I want you to pick at least one of those, and my hint is that I would recommend color, as the Fauvists are known immensely for their color. And I want you to see what you notice about this Fauvist art. All right, here we have two of our first Fauvist paintings, that way. What do you notice specifically about the colors? Do you notice about the lines? About the shapes? Here we have two more. Again, what do you notice? What colors, shapes? Do these pieces of artwork remind you of any of the other styles we've seen? How do they make you feel? Do you feel calm? Do you feel excited? Do you feel sleepy? Do you feel energized and warm? Do you feel confused? Happy? Sad? Why do you think these paintings might make you feel that way? So third graders, some of the things that I noticed were very bright colors. Did anyone else notice that? Yeah, I saw primary, secondary, not a lot of neutrals, almost neons, very bright colors. For me, that made me feel warm and energized, kind of like how summer makes you feel. I also saw mostly organic shapes and squiggly lines. I didn't see a ton of really straight geometric lines in these paintings. And I also noticed there was a lot of positive space, not much negative space, not much space left empty in these paintings. So third graders, the next slides are all about one specific artist. And he is often credited as being the inventor or the person who began this type of art. And many of the paintings that we saw on the previous slides were done by Henri Matisse, and all of the slides on all of the pictures, the paintings, and also the collages on the next two slides were done by Matisse. So right this way, there's a picture of Henri Matisse. That's him with his paints. And something that a lot of people don't know is he didn't even paint until he was 20. He got sick and had to go to the hospital, and his mom brought him paints just so that he wouldn't get bored as he recovered. And his mother really wanted him to be original. And he ended up being so original that he created an entirely new type of art with all of those bright colors that we saw. He used really simple shapes and bright colors to express emotion, like the Impressionists and the Post-Impressionists did. Now, later in Henri's life, he ended up having surgery when he got older, and he needed to be in a wheelchair after that. So he wasn't as able to paint any longer, but he decided he wouldn't stop creating art. He would just start making it in a new way. So below me, here's a picture of him in bed. He would sketch out with that giant, long, extended pencil. He would sketch out his ideas for his collages. And as you can see on this side of me, some of them were huge. That's a person standing in front of one of his most famous collages called the snail. See if you can picture a snail with its winding shell in that collage. Now, the way that Henri created these, they're no longer paintings because he didn't have the dexterity and the ability to paint. So what he started doing was ripping and cutting paper and making collages using those similar, really bright colors. Sometimes he would cut it, sometimes he would just rip it, and he would arrange those really bright colors until they looked perfect to his eye. So now what we are going to do is make our own collages. We're going to try Matisse's paper collage style, and we're going to use these to make cards. Now, down below, these are all pictures of collages that Matisse made simply by cutting or ripping paper. So that is just what we are going to do. So third graders, what you will need for this art project, it is the time for us to experiment. The construction paper that Emily and I sent home in your go home bags. So some of them are ripped pieces, some of them were cut. Just like Matisse, the exact shape of it, we can change, and that's not as important as how we're going to compose our artwork. So you'll need construction paper, scissors, a glue stick. You'll need one larger piece of paper. It can be plain white paper or construction paper. And if you'd like to mail your card, which is optional, then you'll need an envelope. So I'm going to exit out of the steps so that I can show you a bit larger just what we are going to do. Let's put this on my workstation. All right, so like I said, we are going to make cards. So if you have an envelope, it would be a good idea to make sure that the piece of paper that you're going to make a card from is going to fit inside of that envelope. Now, I think for my card, I will use blue paper. But like I said, if you don't have a big enough piece, you can just use a piece of regular white printer paper. So I'm going to fold my card, and now I'm going to hold the envelope up to it, because if my card were larger than my envelope, I wouldn't be able to fit it in the envelope to mail it. So I'm going to cut around it. Now, just like that, it's actually a little bit too large probably. I'm going to trim it just a little bit on both sides. Now, you have three options And really one is kind of an unlimited option for who you'd like to send your card to. Your first option is to people who are in the hospital right now. And they just need a little bit of cheering up, kind of like Henri Matisse was after his surgery. People in the hospital need something to brighten their day and make them feel happy. If you would like to send it to someone in the hospital, I'm going to put the address in your Google Classroom link, and your parent can help you to address your envelope and put a stamp on it. Your second option is Miss Lilla Bauer has her birthday circle this Friday, so you can also choose to send it to Lilla. So again, your parent would just help you to get a stamp and get her address and mail it to her. And your third option is to mail it to whoever you'd like to. Or if you can't mail it, you could give it to someone. You could give it to your parent, your sibling, a friend, whoever you'd like. So we have our card, we have our envelope. I'll put my envelope to the side because I won't need that for right now. And the next thing that you're going to do is simply cut out shapes. So I spent a lot of time cutting out different shapes. You can try squiggles. You can try using negative space, cutting a shape out. You can try circles. I did that one. It was inspired by the snail. You could try something floral. This is my finished card that Lilla, if you're watching, will be coming to you. You can try whatever shape you would like to. Just make sure it's going to fit on your card. And even if it doesn't the first time, you can always cut it down. So let's see. Here's a shape that I just cut, and I have a couple pieces. Once you cut out all of your shapes, and you can always add more, but once you cut them, you feel happy with it, you're going to arrange them. So let me point my camera down so you can see. You're basically going to move them around until you're happy with the composition, where things are placed. Try this here. I might think, no, I think I'll scoot that. No, I don't really like how that looks. Maybe I'll move this here. Maybe I'll put the green at the bottom. It's kind of like grass. And put this here. Yeah, I feel happy with that. And the last thing that you'll do is you'll glue down with your glue stick. You'll glue down each of those shapes, and just be sure you don't glue your card shut. Then you won't be able to write in it. So once you've allowed that to dry, you can put it in the envelope. You can add a message. You might even write it in cursive, and then you can mail that to whoever you would like.